That is second book of mathematics. Okay. Yes. So now I am sharing the screen with all of you.
सर
Yes.
सर वो आपने
Yes, Sagar, please say.
सर वो वीडियो निकाल
Yes. So now screen is visible to all of you. I want all the students in the camera mode. Okay. Nobody should switch off your cameras because this is a recording going on for this complete session. Okay. Yes. So shall we start with the topic of all of you are ready? Am I audible to all of you?
यस सर
Okay. So this is your book. Good morning, all of you. So I am Abhishek sir, and today we are going to start with the new session, new book that is integrals of second book, chapter number 7. And as we have already discussed this thing, that integration is just opposite of differentiation. Okay, so we will have few of the topics so that we can understand this in very detail. First of all, you have to understand this particular thing, that these two problematic figures. Wait, one second. Just have a look at this introduction of this particular chapter. This is a very important part of this chapter, that is differential calculus is centered on the concept of derivative. We have already understood this particular part of differential calculus. The original motive of the derivative was the problem of defining tangent lines to the graph of the function and calculating the slope of such lines. This is also we have done in chapter number 6, that is application of derivatives. Now comes a part of integration. So integral calculus is motivated by the problems of defining and calculating the area of the region which is bounded by the graphs of the function. Okay. So quickly we will try to understand what he is trying to convey to us. Just have a look at this simple example which is there. Okay, integration, sometimes it is also known as anti differentiation. Why it is called anti differentiation? Because differentiation is just opposite of integrations, so that is why sometimes we also refer it as anti derivative. Okay, just have a look at this particular differentiation. Right now we are having a function of sine x on the screen, right? Now if we differentiate d by dx of sine x, that is we are differentiating sine x function with respect to x. Okay, and our answer is cos x. So differentiation of sine x is cos x. We have differentiated sine x with respect to x. Similarly, we are differentiating another function. Let's say that x cube by 3. Now if we differentiate x cube by 3, so definitely this power will come in the starting, right? So we are going to write it down like this, that is 3, and power will be reduced by 1, so it will become 3x square, and denominator is going to be same, that is 3, and finally the 3 in the numerator and 3 in the denominator will get cancelled each other, and we are going to have x square as the final answer. We are just considering few of the very simple questions of differentiation. Okay, after that we will consider how differentiation and integrations are opposite of each other, that is inverse function of each other, right? Just have a look. Yes, So here we are with few of the important formulas. In the part of differentiation, we were having the formula that x raised to the power n was differentiated in the way as, suppose we are having a function as x raised to the power n. Then when we were doing the part of differentiation, what we were doing, we were writing the power in the starting, and after that we were reducing the exponent by 1. Okay, this was our basic process of differentiation. Now in case of integration, when we will be doing integration, what we are supposed to do, just opposite of differentiation. Okay, so all of you be attentive and have a look that how we are going to differentiate a function like x raised to the power 6. Suppose you are having x raised to the power 6 and we want to integrate this complete function. Okay, this is a sign of integration. So whenever we are integrating, the way we are going to represent differentiation like d by dx, in the same way we will represent integration by writing small dx. This dx represents that we are integrating the given function with respect to x. Okay, now have a look. When we are integrating, what happens? The power is increased by 1. Okay, the power is increased by 1. It is opposite of differentiation. So in this case, power is going to increase by 1. And in case of differentiation, we were writing the powers in the starting. You can see that it was, the power was written in the multiplication. So here we are going to write the power in the division. Now you can understand that this is exactly opposite of differentiation. So in this way you are going to get the final answer as x raised to the power 7 with denominator as 7. Okay, now very important part for this, whenever we are integrating a function, we always put a constant. This is known as arbitrary constant. What is meant by this arbitrary constant? We will have a look at this particular part also. Okay, so for this we will consider a second important example. Okay, so let's have a example of one more simple function, that is, let's integrate I is equal to integration of, and now we are writing a function as sin x okay, we are having a function as sin x plus 3. Okay, and to make you understand this particular function, how we are going to integrate this complete sin x plus 3 with respect to x, we are going to integrate this complete function with respect to x. Okay, and just below it I am writing another function, that is y is equals to cos x, okay, with a minus sign, minus cos x plus x. Okay, minus cos x plus x. I think everyone is able to see the screen. There is no one having a problem regarding anything. This is a function y is equals to minus cos x plus x, and we are having one more function written above, that is I is equals to integrate sin x plus 3. Now what we are going to do, first of all we will differentiate y is equals to minus cos x plus x, so that we can understand what we are going to get after this differentiation. Okay, minus sign is going to be as it is. Now cos x, so we know that the differentiation of cos x is minus sin x, so this is going to change as plus, and your answer will become sin x. Okay, plus Now differentiation of x is 1. And suppose if there is any constant term which is added to the function of y, suppose there is one more term written with y, let's say that there is a number written as plus 7 with this. Okay, now when we will differentiate this particular function, then in place of 7 we will write down 0. Okay, so now this is important thing. We have differentiated a function y. Okay, now we are getting our answer as sin x plus 1 plus 0. Everything is okay, but you have to consider this particular part as a very important thing, because we have differentiated a function 7 and its differentiation is 0. Now suppose we want to integrate this complete function. Okay, I want to integrate this complete function, so I write down I, because whoever is teaching us or whoever is giving us any guidance, normally everyone says that integration and differentiation are inverse of each other. So right now we are trying to justify the statement that inverse integration and differentiation are equal to each other. Okay, so first we have differentiated a function y. Now we are going to integrate this particular step, that is dy by dx. Okay, now have a look. Now we are going to integrate. Just have a look at this. I will write it down in the first of all in the proper format. So that is integration of, so we are having integration of sine x plus 1. Okay, okay, so this is a complete function which we need to integrate. I think everyone is able to see the screen and nobody is having any problem. So now we are going to integrate this complete function, and as per our expectations we should get this as our final answer, because till now we have been told that integration and differentiation are inverse of each other. So we are just having a checking of this particular concept. So I have minimized the size of the screen so that you can see that the integration of sine x is minus cos x plus c. Okay, so here we are integrating this integration of sine x. So integration of sine x is going to be cos x. So we will write down as cos x and we will put a small minus sign in front of it. We have already seen the formula which is written just adjacent to this question. Okay, plus c will be put in the last. Now we are having 1. Okay, 1 means we are going to integrate this particular function as this way. You can have a look that integration of 1 is x plus c. Okay, so we will integrate this particular part as integration of 1 will become x, and then I am going to write down 1 c1 for cos x and 1 c1 for x. So we are going to write it down as c1 plus c2. Okay, so c1 and c2, there are two constants which are written. Now in the next line what we are going to do, we will combine the two constants, that is minus cos x, this is going to be same as it is, no changes, plus cos this x will also remain same. Now this c1 and c2 will become c. Okay, we have combined these two constants and finally we have written c. Now comes a very important aspect. You can see that we have integrated a function as well as we have differentiated a same function. Now we will compare the two quantities. Let me have a different color so that we can understand it. Yes. Now you can see that there is a constant number which is written in the y function, that is 7. And here when we are integrating it, we are getting a constant as c. Now maximum number of students becomes confused that whenever we integrate any function, you can see that there are formulas written on the right hand side. This is your first formula. You are having a plus c written over here. In the second formula, once again you are having plus c. And likewise in all the formulas, you can see that there is always a term c which is added after integration. So why this term is added after integration? You have to understand this thing. Okay, this is added because whenever we are differentiating any function, suppose this is your function y is equals to x. So whenever we are differentiating any function, normally what we do, we straight away write down 0 for any constant function. Whenever there is any constant function, 7, 2 upon 3, 11 upon 4, whatever is there, we quickly write it as 0. Now when we are integrating a function, okay, whenever we are integrating a function, we don't know that whether there was any constant present in the original function or not. Okay, so that is the reason why we always put a constant every time when we are integrating a function. Okay, these things will become more clear to you when we will consider another very simple function. Just have a look at another example. Yes, this example is going to tell you that integration and differentiation are just opposite of each other. So that is why he has written a word antiderivative. Now students should not get confused with this word of antiderivative. Antiderivative word means itself as integration. Okay, so that means you have to integrate, you have to find the integral. Okay, now question is write an integral that is antiderivative for each of the following function using the method of inspection. Okay, now how we are going to solve it? Just have a look at this. Function given to you is cos 2x. Now it becomes confusing for us how we are going to integrate cos 2x. Okay, so we have to use the concepts of differentiation. Okay, so quickly we can say that suppose the derivative of cos 2x. So we will look for the function whose derivative is cos 2x. So let's say that we get cos 2x when we differentiate sin 2x. So what we are going to do? We will take sin 2x. Now differentiate sin 2x. When we differentiate sin 2x, we get 2, and after that we get cos 2x. Because when you will differentiate this function, you will substitute this 2x as u. Then you will consider it as sin u. Sin u will become cos u, and differentiation of u, that is 2x, will become 2. So it will be written in the starting. Okay, this is the concept of chain rule we have studied in differentiation. Now the question given to us is cos 2x, right? So this 2 is coming as extra function, so we will shift this 2 in the left hand side. Okay, this 2 is coming as an extra function. You can see that your question is cos 2x only, so that means this 2 is coming as extra function. So we will shift this function to the left hand side and we will get your answer as 1 upon 2 and then sin 2x. So suppose if I write it down like this, 1 upon 2, okay, and in the bracket we write down as sin 2x. Okay, integration is opposite of differentiation, so it is always easy to understand differentiation, but it becomes a bit conceptual to understand integration. Suppose if you differentiate this function now, so what you are going to get, you will write down 1 upon 2 as it is, because this is a constant function, so this will come out definitely. Now we will differentiate sine 2x. So whenever we are differentiating sine 2x, we will get our answer as 2, and with addition to this we will write now cos 2x, right? So in this way we will get the final answer. Now if you will reduce this 2 with this 2, your answer left is cos 2x. You can see this. Fine. Now question is, once again we will read this question number, example number 1 part 2. Have a look at this. Question is saying that you have to find out a function. Okay, you have to find out a function whose antiderivative is 3x square plus 4x cube. Okay, in short he wants you to find out a function whose derivative is 3x square plus 4x cube. Okay, now how we are going to solve this, just have a look at this particular part. So once again question is given to you. Okay, now we will use directly the concept of integration. So I am just solving it over here, all of you be attentive. We will use integration now. So first step is I will write it in the proper form. Now things will start building up in your mind that what is the concept of integration, how we write the function. So first of all you have to write down I is equals to integral, that is a symbol of integration, and after that we write down function in the bracket. So what is the function? So function given to you is 3x square plus 4x cube. I think each and every student is able to understand these things which are written on the screen. Okay, so now we are having a function as 3x square plus 4x cube. As it is I have written, we are going to integrate this complete function with respect to x, so that is why I will write down dx. Okay, till now everything is okay, nobody is having any problem. Now we are going to use simple formulae for integration. So this is going to become as I is equals to as it is. Now one by one we will try to understand the formula. Yes, so 3x square is written. Okay, so 3 is going to be same as it is, we will not change 3. Now look at this x square. Okay, so we are going to integrate x square, so x square integration will become x cube upon 3. Okay, in differentiation we were reducing the power and we were used to write down the power in the starting. Okay, when we were doing differentiation we were doing it like this, that is, suppose it is x square, so power was written in the multiplication, that is in the starting, and then it was reduced by 1. Now both the steps are interchanged. Power is written in the denominator and power is increased by 1. So that is why it becomes x cube upon 3. Now exactly in the same way we are going to solve 4x cube. Okay, now 4x cube is going to be written as 4 is as it is. Okay, now look at this x cube. What we are going to do, this x cube is going to be written as x raised to the power 4. Okay, because exponent is increased by 1 and the power will be written in denominator. So your final answer for this function is going to be as I is equals to x cube, right, plus x4. Okay, because both the 4 and both the 3's are getting cancelled with each other. Okay, you all can see that. So that is why your final answer is going to be x cube plus x4. Okay, so once again we have done this particular part of the question and it is very easy. Now exactly proceeding in the same way. This is your example number 2, that is find the following integrals. Okay, and now the level of the question is going to raise by each example we are moving further. Okay, your concentration is must. Have a look at this particular question. You are having a function as I is equal to x cube minus 1 upon x square. Whenever a question of integration is given to you, your first step should be to write it in the proper format. Okay, so that is why I am going to write it down like I, and after that it is going to be equals to, and then the symbol of integration that is there, and the function x cube minus 1 divided by x square dx. Some of the students forget to write down dx. This is also a very important part, okay, because this dx tells us that we are going to integrate the complete function with respect to x. Okay, now how we are going to proceed in this particular question, please be attentive. First of all, this denominator x square, will be written below x cube, and then it will be written below x square 1. That is, the function is going to reduce itself to integration of x dx minus integration of x raised to the power minus 2. Okay, those who are not able to understand x raised to the power minus 2 can see that this is going to be written as 1 upon x square. Okay, now this is 1 upon x square, and symbol of integration is already there. Now when I will write down this x square in the numerator, its power is going to become negative. Okay, now we will use the formula of integration, okay, like we have done above. Exactly in the same way, this first function is having x raised to the power 1, so its integral will become as x square by 2. Okay, fine. So till now nobody is having any problem. Now minus sign is already there. What we are going to do now? Now we are having a power as minus 2, so no problems. Concept is going to remain same. Okay, it will not change with every question, only the numerical values changes with functions. So this is minus 2 plus 1 upon minus 2 plus 1. I have written the complete step so that you may not get confused how minus 1 came or how division sign got changed with the negative. Now just have a look. This is x square, it will remain same, it will not change. Denominator is 2 as it is. This minus sign, right now it is as it is. Now this is minus 2 plus 1, so this complete function will become x raised to the power minus 1. Okay, and now what is denominator? Denominator is minus 1. So in place of writing minus 1, I will write down 1 as it is, and the minus sign will change this negative to positive, and finally you will get this as your answer. Okay, we can shift this x which is written in the numerator to the denominator to make its power positive. Okay, so in next step you can write it down as x square upon 2 plus 1 upon x. Okay, have a look how we can write it down. So this can be written as x square upon 2 plus 1 upon x. Okay, and definitely you are going to write down a constant plus c. Okay, every time when we are integrating a function, we always write down plus c. Okay, if you will not write down this plus c, that means some of the marks are going to be getting deducted from the question. Okay, you're not given chance to the examiner to deduct your marks at any step. Just have a look at this second question, very easy one. First of all, I will represent this complete function by writing I, that is integration is equals to symbol of integration as it is. Okay, this is very important that you always put this integral sign, and you have to write down this dx also. Okay, so these three things which are highlighted on the screen are must to be done with each and every question. Okay, and whenever you are writing a question, you should always use brackets, because using brackets always helps us to remove those silly mistakes which we commit. Now this is x to the power 2 by 3 plus 1. So one by one, both the functions are going to be integrated. First of all, this x to the power 2 by 3 is going to be integrated. Then we will integrate to 1. Okay, so this can be written as x to the power 2 by 3 dx plus 1 dx. Okay, so this is the last question for today's session which we are going to conduct. Now have a look how we are going to integrate x raised to the power 2 by 3. In this question, x raised to the power 2 by 3, we will increase the exponent by 1. Okay, and in the denominator also you can see that 2 by 3 is increased by 1. Okay, after that we are having a function as 1 dx. Now what is the integration of 1? Integration of 1 is x. Okay, and this c is mandatory. Whenever we are performing the step of integration, we always write down plus c. So finally you will get your answer as 3 by 5 with x raised to the power 5 by 3 plus x plus c as your final answer. So this is going to be the final value of the integrand which we were solving. Okay, now we are having some trigonometric. We are still having a couple of minutes left, so we will solve. Yes, we are having a couple of minutes, so we will solve with this particular question, that is example number 3. Okay, so in this example we are having sin x plus cos x and then dx. Okay, so how we are going to solve this? Very easy one. Sin x, we know that integration of sin x is minus cos x, so it will remain same, no problems. Okay, now simple function is given to you as cos x, so when you will integrate cos x, you will have your function as sin x. Okay, so minus cos x plus sin x and definitely plus c should be there when we are doing a question, and hence this is the complete value of integration of sin x plus cos x with respect to x. Okay, so I expect that all the students have understood the topic really well. Those who are having any doubt regarding any particular part or any question can ask me. Okay,
सर
yes,
सर आपने वो वीडियो भेजी नहीं मेरे को.
I will send it to you. Okay, okay, sir.
Okay.
Yes, anyone else who wants to ask any question? Okay, no one. So today's home assignment is you have to complete all these examples till example number 3. Okay, and try to revise all these things which we have understood in the class for today. Now you all can leave the class. Have a very good day. Take care. Stay home. Stay healthy. Okay, do not
Bye.
bye.
Bye, sir.
Take